Namahom Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhaschachari Satarine. What follows is a selection of verses about Lord Nrsimha Dev from various Vedic literatures. Translations by Srila Prabhupada and others. Recitation by Dravida Das. Namaste Nrsimhaya Prahlada Ladandayine Hiranyakashipo Vaksha Shilatanka Nakalahaye. I offer my obeisances to Lord Nrsimha Dev, who gives joy to Prahlada Maharaj, and whose nails are like chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsimho Hridaye Nrsimho Nrsimhamading Sharanam Prapadye. Lord Nrsimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrsimha is there. He is in the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Nrsimha, the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. Dhavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. Next, a prayer from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 18, Text 8, recited by Prahlada Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya Namaste Jasti Jase Havadavim Bhavavadjanakavadnadangstakamasayan Randaya Randaya Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmanim Bhuyishtaha Om Ksham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for a food of activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. From Canto 6, Chapter 8, Text 14. Durgeshvatam Yajimukadishu Prabhu Bhayan Nrsimho Sarayuta Pahari Vimunchato Yasya Mahatahasam Disho Vinhedur Nipatang Chagarbha. May Lord Nrsimha Dev, who appeared as the enemy of Hiranyakashipu, protect me in all directions. His loud laughing vibrated in all directions and caused the pregnant wives of the Asuras to have miscarriages. May that Lord be kind enough to protect me in difficult places like the forest and the battlefront. Text 34. Vidikshu dikshu dhamadaksam andar bahi bhagavan Nrsimha prahapayal lokabhayam svanena satejasa grasta samasta deja. Prahlada Maharaj loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Nrsimha Dev. May Lord Nrsimhadev, roaring for his devotee Prahlada Maharaj, protect us from all fear of dangers created by stalwart leaders in all directions through poison, weapons, water, fire, air, and so on. May the Lord cover their influence by his own transcendental influence. May Nrsimhadev protect us in all directions and in all corners, above, below, within, and without. Next is the Nrsimha Kavaca Stotram from the Brahmanda Purana. Nrsimha Kavacam Vakshi Prahlade Pura Sarvaraksha-karam Punyam Sarvopandravanashanam Sarvasampatkaram Chaiva Sargamoksha-pradayakam Dhyatva Nrsimham Devesham Hemasinghasanastitam Viritasyam Trinayanam Sharadindu Samaprabham Laksmi-Nrsimha Vibhuti Bhinupashritam Chatubhajam Komalangam Sonakundala Shobhitam Saroja Shobhitoraskam Ratnakeyuramudritam Taptakanchana Sankasham Bhitanirmalavasasam Indradisudamaulishta Spodanmanikya Deeptibhi Virajita Paradvanvam Shankachakradi Gurutmata Chavinayat Stuyamanam Budanvitam Sodit Kamala Sangvasam Kvitvatu Kapacham Pate. I shall now recite the Nrsimha Kavaca, formerly spoken by Prahlada Maharaj. It is most pious, vanquishes all kinds of impediments, and provides one all protection. It bestows all opulences, and can give one elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation. One should meditate upon Lord Nrsimha, Lord of the demigods, seated upon a golden throne. His mouth is wide open, he has 3 eyes, and he is as radiant as the autumn moon. He is embraced by Lakshmi Devi on his left side, and his form is the shelter of all opulences, both material and spiritual. The Lord has 4 arms, and his limbs are very soft. He is decorated with golden earrings, his chest is resplendent like the lotus flower, and his arms are decorated with jewel-studded ornaments. He is dressed in a spotless yellow garment, which exactly resembles molten gold. He is the original cause of existence beyond the mundane sphere, for the great demigods headed by Indra. He appears bedecked with rubies which are blazingly effulgent. His 2 feet are very attractive, and he is armed with various weapons such as the conch, disc, etc. Garuda joyfully offers prayers with great reverence. Having seated Lord Nrsimhadev upon the lotus of one's heart, one should recite the following mantra. Nrsimho me shirakpatu lokarakshata sambhava sarvagopi stambhavaso phalam me rakshatu dhvanim Nrsimho me drisho patu somasu yagnilochanaha smitam me patu nihari Muniva Stuti Priyaha Nasame Singanasastu Mukam Lakshmi Mukapriya Sava Vidyadipak Patu Nrsimho Rasanam Mama Vakram Patindu Vadanam Sada Prahlada Vandita Nrsimha Patame Kandham Skandha Bhumriddanam Krit Dimyastra Shobhita Bhuja Nrsimha Patu me Bhujo Karo me Deva Vadado Nrsimha Patu Sarvataha Vidyam Yogi Sadhyascha Nivasam Patu me Hari Madhyam Patu Hiranyaksha Vaksha Kukshi Vadarana Nabhi me Patu Nahari Sanabhi Brahma Sangstutaha Brahmana Kotaya Katyam Yasyaso Patu me Katim Guhyam me Patu Guyyanam Mantranam Guya Rupadrik Uru Mano Bhavak Patu Januni Nararupadrik Jange Patu Dadambhara Harta Yoso Nakeshari Sudaraja Padak Patu Bhado me Harishara Sahasa Shisha Purushak Patu me Sarvashastanum Mahogram Bhuvatak Patu Mahaviragrajognita Mahavishnu Dakshinetu Mahajalastu Naiditaha Vaschime Patu Sarvasho Dishime Sarvatomukaha Nrsimha patavayabhyam saumyam bhushana vigraha Ishanyam patapandro me sarvamangaladayaka Sangsara bhayatak patu mrityo mrityo nakeshari Iram Nrsimha Kavacam Prahlada mukamanditam Bhaktimanyak patenaityam Sarva papay pamuchyati Putravan dhanavanoke Dirgayud bhajayati Kamayati yam yam kamam Tam tam prapnoti sangsayam Savatra jayamapnoti Savatra vjahi bhavid Bhumyam tarikshati vyanam Grahanam vinivaranam Vishchikodaka sambhuta Vishapaharanam padam Brahma rakshasa yakshanam Durotsarana karanam Bhuje vatala patreva Kavacham dikitam shubham Kadamule tutam yena Siddheyu karma siddhaya Devasura manusyeshu Samsam eva jayam nabid Eka sandhyam trisandhyam va Yakpati niyato naraha Savamangala mangalyam Bhuktim muktim cha vindati Dvatringshati sahasrani Patet shudnhatmanam ninam Kavachasyasa mantrasya Mantrasiddhi brajayati Anena mantrarajena Kritva basma bimantranam Tilakam vanasi jastu Tasya grahabhayam harit Tivaram japamanastu Dattam vayabhimantra cha Pasaye jo naro mantram Nrsimha dhyanamachayit Tasya roga pranashyanti Echasyu kukshi sambhava. May Lord Nrsimha, who protects all the planetary systems, protect my head. Although the Lord is all-pervading, he hid himself within a pillar. May he protect my speech and the results of my activities. May Lord Nrsimha, whose eyes are the moon, the sun, and fire, protect my eyes. May Lord Nrhari, who is pleased by the prayers offered by the best of sages, protect my memory. May he who has the nose of a lion protect my nose, and may he whose face is very dear to the goddess of fortune protect my mouth. May Lord Nrsimha, who is the knower of all sciences, protect my sense of taste. May he whose face is as beautiful as the moon, and who is offered prayers by Prahlada Maharaj, protect my face. May Lord Nrsimha protect my throat. He is the sustainer of the earth, and the performer of unlimitedly wonderful activities. May he protect my shoulders. His arms are resplendent with transcendental weapons. May he protect my arms. May the Lord, who bestows benedictions upon the demigods, protect my hands, and may he protect me from all sides. May he who is achieved by the perfect yogis protect my heart, and may Lord Hari protect my dwelling place. May he who ripped apart the chest and abdomen of the demon Hiranyakashipu protect my waist, and may Lord Nrsimha protect my navel. He is offered prayers by Lord Brahma, who has sprung from his own navel. May he on whose hips rest all the universes protect my hips. May the Lord protect my private parts. He is the knower of all mantras and all mysteries, but he himself is not visible. May he who is the original Cupid protect my thighs. May he who exhibits a human-like form protect my knees. May the remover of the burden of the earth, who appears in a form which is half man and half lion, protect my calves. May the bestower of heavenly opulence protect my feet. He is the supreme controller in the form of a man and a lion combined. May the thousand-headed supreme enjoyer protect my body from all sides and in all respects. May that most ferocious personality protect me from the east. May he who is superior to the greatest heroes protect me from the southeast, which is presided over by Agni. May the supreme Vishnu protect me from the south, and may that person of blazing luster protect me from the southwest. May the Lord of everything protect me from the west. His faces are everywhere, so please may he protect me from this direction. May Lord Nrsimha protect me from the northwest, which is predominated by Vayu, and may he whose form is in itself the supreme ornament protect me from the north, where Soma resides. May the all-auspicious Lord, who himself bestows all auspiciousness, protect me from the northeast, the direction of the sun god. And may he who is death personified protect me from fear of death and rotation in this material world. This Nrsimha Kavaca has been ornamented by issuing from the mouth of Prahlada Maharaj. A devotee who reads this prayer becomes freed from all sins. Whatever one desires in this world, he can attain without doubt. One can have wealth, many sons, and a long life. He becomes victorious who desires victory, and indeed becomes a conqueror. He wards off the influence of all planets, earthly, heavenly, and everything in between. This is the supreme remedy for the poisonous effects of serpents and scorpions, and Brahma-Rakshasa ghosts and yakshas are driven far away. One may write this most auspicious prayer on his arm, or inscribe it on a palm leaf and attach it to his wrist, and all his activities will become perfect. One who regularly chants this prayer, whether once or thrice daily, becomes victorious whether among demigods, demons, or human beings. One who, with a purified heart, recites this prayer 32,000 times, attains the most auspicious of all auspicious things, and material enjoyment and liberation are already understood to be available to such a person. This Kavaca mantra is the king of all mantras. One attains by it what would be attained by anointing oneself with ashes and chanting all other mantras. If one marks his body with tilak, performs achman with water, and recites this mantra 3 times, the fear of all inauspicious planets is removed. That person who recites this mantra, meditating upon Lord Nrsimha has all of his diseases vanquished, including those of the abdomen. Garjantam garjantam hijbata patalam spotayantam hatantam rupyantam tapayantam divibuviditijam chepayantam chipantam krandantam roshayantam dishi dishi satatam sangharantam barantam vikshantam punayantam kadanikadashata dimyasingham namahami. Lord Nrsimha roars loudly and causes others to roar. With his multitudes of arms he tears the demons asunder and kills them in this way. He is always seeking out and tormenting the demonic descendants of Diti, both on this earth planet and in the higher planets, and he throws them down and scatters them. He cries with great anger as he destroys the demons in all directions, yet with his unlimited hands he sustains, protects, and nourishes the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Lord, who has assumed the form of a transcendental lion. Iti Shri Brahmanda Purane Prahlada Shri Nrsimha Kavacam Sampurnam. Thus ends the Nrsimha Kavaca as chanted by Prahlada Maharaj in the Brahmanda Purana. Next is the Shri Laksmi-Nrsimha Karuna Rasa Stotram, the prayer to invoke the mercy of Shri Laksmi-Nrsimha. Srimat Payona Dinakirtana Chakrapane Bhogindra Bhogamani Rajata Punya Muhurte Yogisha Shashata Sharanya Bhavamdi Pohota Laksmi-Nrsimha Mamade Hikaravallambam. O Lord, you reside in the ocean of milk, and you carry the Sudarshan Chakra in your hand. Your all-auspicious form is made even more resplendent by the jewel-like body of Anantadev, the king of serpents, upon whom you rest. You are the eternal deliverer from the ocean of birth and death for all those who seek your shelter, and you are the master of all mystics. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with a touch of your lotus hand. Brahmendra Rudra Madhuraka Karita Koti Sangati Tangri Kamalama Lakanti Kanta Lakshmi Lasatkrita Sarora Raja Hansa Laksmi-Nrsimha Mamade Hikaravallambam. Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, Lord Shiva, the Maruts, and the Sun God all fall down with their tens of millions of helmets at your lotus feet, which are most dear to the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. Lakshmi Devi herself appears as beautiful as a royal swan enjoying the lotus flower of your chest. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Asangsara dhava dahana kula bishinoru jvalajvali bedati dagna tanuru hasya Tvatpada padma sadasim shadanagatasya Laksmi-Nrsimha Mamade Hikaravallambam. The conditioned soul suffers on the path of repeated birth and death, exactly like one caught in a forest fire. Being very fearful, his body burnt by the licking flames, he cries most pitiably. Just as one tormented by a forest fire may take shelter in a pond, so the soul who surrenders to you may find refuge from the forest fire of samsara by taking shelter in the pond of your lotus feet. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara jala patitasya jagannivasa savindriyata badishaga jashopamasya bhodkampita pachudita lukamastakasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. O abode of the universe, I have fallen into the net of repeated birth and death. Just like an aquatic animal, I eagerly accept the hook baited with the sense objects. And just as the fish is caught, trembling, and his head is cut off, so my real consciousness is lost as I am punished by the material nature. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara kuba mati godamagada moolam samprapa dukkha shatasarpa samakulasya Dinasya deva kripaya padamagatasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. Having fallen into the horrible and bottomless well of repeated birth and death, I am tormented by the serpent of hundreds of miseries. In this fallen condition, O Lord, by your mercy I am surrendered to your lotus feet. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara bhikada kadina karavigata nishpijamana vabhushak sakalati nasha prana prayana bhavabhita samakulasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. You slay the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, whose body is as strong as an elephant, by squeezing him with your hands. In this way you destroy all miseries by breaking the fearful cycle of birth and death. You are the ultimate goal of life for those who are disturbed by fear of material existence. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara sabha vishadignimanogatigra dhangsraga koti padidashti vinashtamurti Nagadi vahana sudhabdi nivasa shore Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. I have been bitten by the tens of millions of terrible sharp fangs of the snake of material existence. Having been injected with its powerful poison, I have lost my consciousness as the eternal servant of Krishna. The best remedy for snake bite is nectar. O Lord Shori, you reside in the ocean of nectar, and your carrier is Garuda, the great enemy of all serpents. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara vrikshimaga bijamananta karma shaka yutam kadanapattamananga pushpam Aruhya dukkha palinam patitam dayalo Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. The tree of samsara, or material existence, is sprouted from the seed of sinful desire. The unlimited reactions to fruitive activities are its branches, the senses are its leaves, and its flower is Cupid's attraction of sex desire. O merciful one, I climbed up this tree, but I have only obtained the fruit of misery, and am now fallen. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara sagada vishara karala kala nakragraha grasita ningaha vigrahasya vyadhasya raganichayormini piditasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. In the broad ocean of material existence, I am broken and smashed again and again by the powerful waves of my accumulated attachments. Grasped in the jaws of the fearful crocodile of the eternal time factor, I am pierced, ripped apart, and swallowed. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara sagana nimhanjana muhya mahanam Dinam vilokaya vibhoka donane demam Prahlada keda padihada krtavatara Laksmi-Nrsimha mamadehi kadavalambam. O all-powerful ocean of mercy, please cast your glance upon me. I am bewildered, helplessly sinking in the sea of samsara. You descended to remove the distress of your devotee Prahlada Maharaj. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Sangsara ghoda gahane chadato morari marogra bhikata mraga pacharadi tasya artasya matsadane dagna sudukki tasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. O Murari, I have fallen into the pit of material existence, and am wandering just like an animal greatly tormented by fear of the horrible death that awaits him. Distressed and miserable, I am burnt by envy. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Vadnvagaleya mabatabahutarjayanta karshandiyatta bhavapashashatahutamam ekakinam padavisham chakitam dayalo Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. Binding me with ropes, the servants of Yamaraj drag me to his abode, beating me severely along the path. Bound by material existence in hundreds of ways, I stand alone, helpless and trembling, under the influence of the superior force of Daivi Maya. O merciful Lord, O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Lakshmi Pate Kamalanabha Suresha Vishnu Yagyesha Yagya Madhusudana Vishwarupa Brahman Keshava Janadana Vasudeva Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. You are the Lord of Lakshmi and the Master of the demigods. O Vishnu, your navel is just like the lotus. You are the Lord of sacrifice and the embodiment of sacrificial performance. O Madhusudan, Vishwarup, you are always favorably disposed to the Brahmins. O Keshava, Janardhan, Vasudev, O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Ekena chakram aparena karena shankam anyena sindhutanayam avalambya tishtham vametarena vadadabhya padmachinnam Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. In one of your four hands you hold the Sudarshan disc, and in another a conch. With another you embrace Lakshmi, who was born from the milk ocean, and with the other, on the left, you bestow fearlessness. The palm of that hand, which is raised to give benediction, is marked with the lotus symbol. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Andasya merit viveka mahadhanasya Chaurai mahabalibhindaya namadheyai Mohandakad kuhadeva nipatitasya Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. Although I am very wealthy, I am blind and without discrimination. I have been robbed of my great treasure, Krishna consciousness, by the thieves of the senses. Despite all my attempts to appease them with different types of offerings, they have thrown me into the pit of illusion and darkness. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Prahlada nada parashada pundarika Vyasadi bhagavata pungavarinivasa Bhaktanurakta padepalana parijata Laksmi-Nrsimha mamade hikaravallambam. You reside in the hearts of the best of devotees, such as Prahlada Maharaj, Narada Muni, Parashara Muni, Pundarik, Vyasadeva, and others. You are very fond of your devotees and are their parijata tree of protection. O Laksmi-Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hand. Laksmi-Nrsimha chadanabja madhuvratena Stotram kritam shubhakaram bhuvishankarena Yatte patanti manojahari bhakti yuktas Te yanti tat padasaro jamakhanda rupam. This prayer, bestowing auspiciousness in this world, has been composed by Shankaracharya, who was a honeybee at the lotus flower of the feet of Sri Sri Laksmi-Nrsimha. Those who read this prayer with devotion to Lord Krishna attain the shelter of Laksmi-Nrsimha's lotus feet, and also attain their eternal spiritual forms, which are never annihilated. Om Am Hrim Kraum Om Pat Om Tattaka Kesha Gajjalat Pado Karalochana Bandradika Nakasparsha Nrsimha Namostute. O my Lord, O transcendental Lion, I offer my obeisances unto you, along with Lakshmi. As you sometimes fly in the sky, and sometimes move on foot, your mane hairs blaze with a golden brilliance. Your glance and the touch of your nails are the source of all auspiciousness. Next are the prayers of Prahlada Maharaj from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, beginning with Text 8. Shri Pararuvacho Brahmadaya Suragana Munayota Siddha Sattvaikatana Gatayo Vacha Sampravahai Naraditum Purugunaya Dunapi Pipru Kim Tostamahati Same Hadadughrajati. Prahlada Maharaj prayed, "How is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, and all the saintly persons, could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words, although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness. Then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified." Manye dhanabhijanadupatapaksutajas Tejap prabhava balapaursha buddhi yoga Naradhanaya hi bhavanti padasya pungso Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuta paya. One may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. Viprad vishangunayutada davinda nabha padada vinda vimukhatsa prachamvarishnam Manye teraipata manovachane hitartha pranam punati sakulam nato buddhimano. If a Brahmin has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog-eater but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life, to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmin, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmin in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. Naivatmana prabudayam nijalabha purno manam janada vidushakadono vrinite yadn jano bhagavate vedadhita manam tachatmane padimukhasya yata mukhashvi. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering, by the Lord's mercy, is for the benefit of the devotee, for the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. Tasmadaham vikata viplava ishwarasya sarvatmanam higranami yata manisham nicho jaya guna visargam anupravishta puyete yena hipoman anuvarnitena. Therefore, although I was born in a demoniac family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor, as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hears the Lord's glories. Sarve yami vidikarastava satvadhamno brahmadeyo vayami veshana chodvijanta jay maya bhuta yahutatma sukaya chasya vikriditam bhagavato ruchidavatarai. O my Lord, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma are sincere servants of your lordship, who are situated in a transcendental position. Therefore they are not like me and my father. Your appearance in this fearsome form is your pastime for your own pleasure. Such an incarnation is always meant for the protection and improvement of the universe. Tadnyatcha manyamashadascha hatastrayaja modetu sadada bhivishtika sarpahatya lokascha nivitamitapati yanti sarve rupam nrsinga vibhayaya janasmaranti. My Lord Nrsimhadev, please therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Since even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake, all the worlds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be free from fear. Naham vibhim jitatedi bhayanakasya jivakaneta bhukutira basogra dangstrat andras rajakshatatakesha dashanku karnan niranabita dhikiban adibhinnakagrat. My Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp, pinching teeth, your garland of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high, wedge-like ears. Nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which makes elephants flee to distant places, or your nails, which are meant to kill your enemies. Ntrastosmyaham kripanavatsala duksahogra sangsara chakka kadanadgrasatampanita badnhasa karma bidushattamate moolam pritopavaga shadanam vayasekadanu. O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? Yasmat priyapaya viyoga samyoga janma shokagnina sakalayo nishadayamana dukkam kaushadam tadapi dukkam atandiyaham bhuman brahmami vadame tavadasya yogam. O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of combination with pleasing and displeasing circumstances, and because of separation from them, one is placed in a most regrettable position, within heavenly or hellish planets, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of this miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. Soham priyasya suridakpada devataya lila katastava Nrsimha vadincha gita anjastitam yanugunan guna vipramukto durganite padayugala hansa sangha. O my Lord Nrsimhadev, by engaging in your transcendental loving service in the association of devotees who are liberated souls, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of the three modes of material nature, and be able to chant the glories of your Lordship, who are so dear to me. I shall chant your glories, following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of nescience. Balasya neya shadanam pitaro Nrsimha Nartasya chagadamudhanvati manjato now. Taptasya tatpati vidya hi hanjasheshtas. Tavad vibhotanubratam tadupekshitanam. My Lord Nrsimhadev, O Supreme, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child, a physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. Yasmin yato yarhiyena cha yasya yasmad, yasmayata yaduta yascha parakparova, bhavak karoti vikaroti prataksabhava, sanchoditasadakhilang bhavataksaroopam. My dear Lord, everyone in this material world is under the modes of material nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone, from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, works under the influence of these modes. Therefore everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy. The cause for which they work, the place where they work, the time when they work, the matter due to which they work, the goal of life they have considered final, and the process for obtaining this goal, all are nothing but manifestations of your energy. Indeed, since the energy and energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestations of you. Maya manaksa jatikama mayam baliya, kalena chodita gunana matena pungsa, chando mayam yadajayapita shodashadam, sangsada chakkamajako titaritvaramya. O Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created the subtle bodies of the living entities through the agency of your external energy, which is agitated by time. Thus the mind entraps the living entity in unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled by the Vedic directions of karma kanda, fruit of activity, and the 16 elements. Who can get free from this entanglement unless he takes shelter at your lotus feet? Sattvam hi nitya vijitatma gunaksadhamna, kalo vashikata visinja visaga shakti, chakre visishtamajayesha dashodashari, nishpijamanam upakarsha vibhopapannam. My dear Lord, O Supreme Great, you have created this material world of 16 constituents, but you are transcendental to their material qualities. In other words, these material qualities are under your full control, and you are never conquered by them. Therefore the time element is your representation. My Lord, O Supreme, no one can conquer you. As for me, however, I am being crushed by the wheel of time, and therefore I surrender fully unto you. Now kindly take me under the protection of your lotus feet. Drishta mayad vivibhokila dishnapanam, ayushyo vibhava icchate yanjanoyam, ye smat pituku pitahasa vijimbitam bru, vispujitena lulita sututena rasta. My dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to the higher planetary systems for a long duration of life, opulence, and enjoyment. But I have seen all of these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movements of his eyebrows. Yet my father, who was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. Tasmadamustanabratamashamashishogya ayushyam vibhavamaindayamavedinchad nicchamiti vilulitanuruvikramena kalatmanopanayamam nijabritya bhashvam. My dear Lord, now I have complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the ant. As powerful time, you destroy them all. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee, and let me serve him as a sincere servant. Kutra shisha shruti sukharmaga trishni rupa kvedam kalevadam sheshurajam viroha nirvidyate natujano yadapiti vidman kamanalam modulavai shamayandurapai. In this material world, every living entity desires some future happiness, which is exactly like a mirage in the desert. Where is water in the desert? Or in other words, where is happiness in this material world? As for this body, what is its value? It is merely a source of various diseases. The so-called philosophers, scientists, and politicians know this very well, but nonetheless they aspire for temporary happiness. Happiness is very difficult to obtain, but because they are unable to control their senses, they run after the so-called happiness of the material world and never come to the right conclusion. Kvaham rajakpa bhava ishatamodikesmin jadaksareda dakule katavanukambha nam brahmanotanubhavasana vairamaya Yannirpita shidasipad makadak prasada. O my Lord, O Supreme, because I was born in a family full of the hellish material qualities of passion and ignorance, what is my position? And what is to be said of your causeless mercy, which was never offered even to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi? You never put your lotus hand upon their heads, but you have put it upon mine. Naisha paravadamati bhavato nanusyaj janto hyatapa surido jakatastatapi sangsevaya sudatoro divate prasada sevano rupa mudayo napadavaratvam. Unlike an ordinary living entity, my Lord, you do not discriminate between friends and enemies, the favorable and the unfavorable, because for you there is no conception of higher and lower. Nonetheless, you offer your benedictions according to the level of one's service, exactly as a desire tree delivers fruits according to one's desires, and makes no distinction between the lower and the higher. Evang janang nipatitam bhavavahi kupe kama bikama manuyak papatan pasangat Kritvatmasatsurarshina bhagavan grahita soham katam nu visraji tavabritya sevam. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Mat prana lakshanam patu vidhascha manye sabritya rishivakimritam vidhatum karngam bhagriya yadavocha dasan viditsus Vamisharo madaparo patukam harami. My Lord, O unlimited reservoir of transcendental qualities, you have killed my father, Hiranyakashipu, and saved me from his sword. He had said very angrily, If there is any supreme controller other than me, let him save you. I shall now sever your head from your body. Therefore I think that both in saving me and in killing him, you have acted just to prove true the words of your devotee. There is no other cause. Ekastrameva jagadetamamushyayattvam adyandayorpatagavasyasi manyatascha sishtva gunavitakadam nijamayayedam nanevatadavasitas fadanupravishta. My dear Lord, you alone manifest yourself as the entire cosmic manifestation, for you existed before the creation, you exist after the annihilation, and you are the maintainer between the beginning and the end. All this is done by your external energy through actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature. Therefore, whatever exists, externally and internally, is you alone. Tvam vahidam sadasadisha bhavangtatonyo maya yadatma padambundidiyam yapata yadn yasya janma nidanam stitarikshanam cha tadvaita deva vasukala vadashtitavo. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, the entire cosmic creation is caused by you, and the cosmic manifestation is an effect of your energy. Although the entire cosmos is but you alone, you keep yourself aloof from it. The conception of mine and yours is certainly a type of illusion, because everything is an emanation from you and is therefore not different from you. Indeed, the cosmic manifestation is non-different from you, and the annihilation is also caused by you. This relationship between your lordship and the cosmos is illustrated by the example of the seed and the tree, or the subtle cause and the gross manifestation. Nyasye namapannijagan vilayambu madye sheshetmanandi nasukano bhavo niriha yoge namilata dragatman napita nindras tu yestito natutamo nagunanta yungshe. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, after the annihilation, the creative energy is kept in you, who appear to sleep with half-closed eyes. Actually, however, you do not sleep like an ordinary human being, for you are always in a transcendental stage beyond the creation of the material world, and you always feel transcendental bliss. As Karanadakshay Vishnu, you thus remain in your transcendental status, not touching material objects. Although you appear to sleep, this sleeping is distinct from sleeping in ignorance. Tasyaiva teva pudidham nijakala shakya sanchodita prakriti dharma na atma gudham ambasya nanda shayanad vidamat samadhir nabe nabhusa kanika patavan mahabjam. This cosmic manifestation, the material world, is also your body. This total lump of matter is agitated by your potent energy known as Kala Shakti, and thus the three modes of material nature are manifested. You awaken from the bed of Shesha, Ananta, and from your navel a small transcendental seed is generated. It is from this seed that the lotus flower of the gigantic universe is manifested, exactly as a banyan tree grows from a small seed. Tat sambhavakya vidatonya Dvam bijamapanitatam sabahi vichinja na vindadam dashatamapsu namajamano jatim kure katamuho palabheta bijam. From that great lotus flower, Brahma was generated, but Brahma certainly could see nothing but the lotus. Therefore, thinking you to be outside, Lord Brahma dove into the water and attempted to find the source of the lotus for 100 years. He could find no trace of you, however, for when a seed fructifies, the original seed cannot be seen. Sattvatmayona nadivismata ashritobjam kale nativa tapasapadi shuddhabhava tvamatmanisha bhuvigandhamivati sukshmam bhutendriyasha yamaye vitatam dadarsha. Lord Brahma, who is celebrated as Atmayoni, having been born without a mother, was struck with wonder. Thus he took shelter of the lotus flower, and when he had been purified after undergoing severe austerities for many hundreds of years, he could see that the cause of all causes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was spread throughout his own body and senses, just as aroma, although very subtle, is perceived in the earth. Evam sahasya vadanangishadakarodu nasadikana nayanabhadanayudadhyam mayamayam sadubalakshita sannivesham drishtva mahapudushamapamudham virincha. Lord Brahma could then see you possessing thousands and thousands of faces, feet, heads, hands, thighs, noses, ears, and eyes. You were very nicely dressed, bedecked with varieties of ornaments and weapons. Seeing you in the form of Lord Vishnu, your symptoms and form being transcendental, your legs extending from the lower planets, Lord Brahma achieved transcendental bliss. Tasmai bhavan hayashadastunavam hi bimbrad vedantuha vadibalo mandukaitam bhakyo hatvanayat chudiganang chadajastamascha Sattvantava priyatamam tunamamananti. My dear Lord, when you appeared as Hayagriva with the head of a horse, you killed 2 demons known as Madhu and Kaitaba, who were full of the modes of passion and ignorance. Then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma. For this reason, all the great saints accept your forms as transcendental, untinged by material qualities. Ittam nityagudishideva jahashvatadhair lokan vabhavayasi hansi jagatpati pan dharmam mahapurusha pasayuganuvrittam channa kaloya dabhavas tuyugota sattvam. In this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish, or a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demoniac principles. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Triyuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas. Naitan manasta vakatasi vakundanata sampriyate juditadushtamasadu tivram kamatodam harshashoka bayaishanatam tasmin katam tavakatim vimashami dina. My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, my mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called distressed. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in topics concerning you. I am therefore most fallen and poor. In such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities? Jivaikato chitavikarshiti ma vitripta shishnon hitastva dudadam shavanam kutaschit granon hitascha paladrikvacha karma shakti bhamyasa patna ivage hapatim lunanti. My dear Lord, O infallible one, my position is like that of a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes, the genitals to sex with an attractive woman, and the sense of touch to contact with soft things. The belly, although filled, still wants to eat more, and the ear, not attempting to hear about you, is generally attracted to cinema songs. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. The restless eyes are attracted to scenes of sense gratification, and the active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way I am certainly embarrassed. Evam sakarma patitam bhavavaitadanyam anyonya janma madanashana bhita bhitam pashyan janam saparavigraha vaira maitram hante tipada chadapi prahimuda madhya. My dear Lord, you are always transcendently situated on the other side of the river of death, but because of the reactions of our own activities, we are suffering on this side. Indeed, we have fallen into this river and are repeatedly suffering the pains of birth and death, and eating horrible things. Now kindly look upon us, not only upon me, but also upon all others who are suffering, and by your causeless mercy and compassion, deliver us and maintain us. Kon vattate lagudo bhagavan prayasa uttadanesa bhavasambhavalopaheto Mudeshvaya mahadanungaha arta bandho king te nate priyajanan hodosevatang. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, original spiritual master of the entire world, what is the difficulty for you, who manage the affairs of the universe, in delivering the fallen souls engaged in your devotional service? You are the friend of all suffering humanity, and for great personalities it is necessary to show mercy to the foolish. Therefore I think that you will show your causeless mercy to persons like us, who engage in your service. Naivo dvijepa dodoratyaya vaitaranyas Dvadvijagahya namahamata magnachitta Shocetato vimukachetasa indiyata Maya Sukhaya Badamud Vahato Vimudhan. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. Brayena deva munayaksa vimukti kama maunam chadanti vijanena parata nishta naitan vihaya kapanan vimamuksha eko nanyam tvadasya sharanam brahmato nupashye. My dear Lord Nrsimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore I wish to bring them back to the shelter at your lotus feet. Yanmaitunadi guhamedi sukham mitucham kundu yanena kadayodeva dukka dukkam tripyandinehe kapanabaho dukka bhaja kanduti van manasijam vishaheta dhira. Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. Grihamedis, so-called grihastas who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness, although actually it is a source of distress. The Kripanas, the fools who are just the opposite of Brahmins, are not satisfied by repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are Dhira, however, who are sober and who tolerate this itching, are not subjected to the sufferings of fools and rascals.
The Sri Sanaiscara-krta Sri Nrsimha Stuti, prayer offered by Saturn to Lord Nrsimhadev from the Bhavishyotara Purana. Sulabho bhakti yuktanam durdarsho drishtachetasam ananya kritikanam cha bhabu bhaktaika vatsalah Sanaiscara tatta Nrsimhadeva Chakara malachitta vritti panamyashastangam loka kirita nirajita parapadmam. Sri Shaniruvacha Yatpada pankadvajapadamādharena Sangsevitang sakalakalmasharashinasham Kalyanakarakam Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kapavalokam Sarvatra Chanchalataya Stitiyapi Lakshmya Brahmadi Vandapadaya Stitaya Nirsevi Padada Vinda Yugalam Padamadarena Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kapavalokam Yadrupamagama shirak patipadya madhya Adhyatmakari paditapahadam vichintyam Yogishwarayra patagakila dosha sanghai Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kripavalokam Prahlada Bhakta Vatasaha Dadavirasa Stambe Hiranyakashipung Yahudara Bhava Urval Nidaya Udaram Nikarai Dadhara Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kripavalokam Yo Naija Bhakta Analam Buddhi Buddha Rogra Shringa Papada Vishadhanti Sarisupebhya Sarvatmaka Padamakaru Nikora Raksha Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kripavalokam Yanni Vikara Pararupa Vichintanena Yogishvara Vishaya Sagada Vitaraga Vishranti Mapada Vinasha Bhatim Parakyam Sattvam Nrsimha Mahidehi Kripavalokam Yadrupamunga parimardana bhavashali Sanchintanena sakalaga vinashakari Bhutandvara graha samunbhava bhiti nasham Sattvam Nrsimha mahidehi kripavalokam Yasyottamam yashahumapatim padma janma Shakradi daivata subhasa samasta gitam Ashaktaiva sarva shamalarpa samaika daksham Sattvam Nrsimha mahidehi kripavalokam Evam shudva stutim deva Shaninam kalpitam harihi Uvacha brahma vrindashta Shanim tam bhakta vatsalaha Shri Nrsimha Uvacha Prasannoham shanetubhyam Vadam vadayashobhanam Yam vanchasi tameva tvam Savaloki hitavaham Shri Shani Uvacha Nrsimha tvam mahi kripam Gurudeva dayanidhe Manvasadastava priti Karasyate vatapate Matkritam tvatparam stotram Shinpanti cha patanti cha Savan kamam puriyetas Desham tvam lokabhavanaha Shri Nrsimha Uvacha Tataivastu shaneham vai Raksho bhuvana sangsitaha Bhakta kaman purayashye Tvam mamaka vachakshinu Fatkritam matparam stotram Yakpate chunuyachatya Dvadashastam janmastad Bhayam mastu tasya vaye Shani naraharim devam Tateti patyuvachaha Tatak padama santushto Jayeti manayovadhan Shri Krishna Uvacha Yatam Sanaiscara yasyata Nrsimha deva Sangvadametat stavanang chamanavaha Srinoti yakshravayate chambhaktya Sarvanyabhishtani chavindate dhruvam Iti Shri Bhavishyottara Purane Raksho Bhavana Mahatme Shri Sanaiscara-krta Shri Nrsimha Stuti Sampurnam. Everyone is afraid of the malefic planet Shani, because generally he is associated with extreme sorrow and suffering. However, Shanidev himself has devised a way of solving this problem by obtaining the blessings of Lord Nrsimha. Shani made an agreement with the Lord that he would never trouble those who recite his Nrsimha Stuti. If one recites with devotion Shani's Sri Nrsimha Stuti, especially on Shanivar, Saturdays, one will please the Lord who is the super soul of Sanaiscara-krta, and the Lord will remove all obstacles and suffering and bless his devotee. Lord Nrsimha Dev is easily accessible to the devotees and punishes those who are evil-minded. He is the savior for those who are helpless, who desire to seek refuge in him. When the demigods of innumerable planets bow down to his lotus feet, the bright jewels from their crowns are reflected on his toenails, giving the impression that lamps are being waved in front of them. Unto his lotus feet, Shanidev prostrated and prayed in the court of Brahma. Sri Shani said, By the mercy of the dust of your lotus feet, which destroy a multitude of sins, grant infinite auspiciousness to your devotee who always worships your lotus feet with devotion. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. Your lotus feet are worshipped by Goddess Lakshmi, even though she is fickle by nature, Chanchala, and by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, whose feet are worthy of worship with devotion. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. By contemplating or meditating upon your appearance, which is expounded in the Vedas extensively, the best of the saints are liberated from the threefold miseries and from all misfortunes. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. By the word of his devotee Prahlada, Lord Hari, who is generous and kind, appeared from a pillar and by placing Hiranyakashipu on his thighs, split open his stomach with his nails. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. You protected your own devotee Prahlada from a raging fire, the deep ocean, from falling from a tall mountain peak, from poison, a mad elephant, and the fangs of poisonous serpents. You are omnipresent and supremely generous. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. By meditating upon him whose great form is devoid of imperfections, the best of the saints attained liberation from the ocean of materialistic attachments and obtained unmitigated salvation. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. By meditating upon him whose form is fearsome, all peace, happiness, and prosperity can be obtained. All sins can be obliterated. The fear arising from evil spirits, fevers, and unfavorable planetary positions can be removed. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. Your transcendental fame is sung gloriously in all the divine assemblies of Shiva, Brahma, and Indra, etc., and your power is steadfast in wiping out all impurities. O Lord Nrsimha, please bestow upon me your merciful sidelong glance. Upon listening to the heartfelt prayer composed by Shanidev in the assembly of Lord Brahma, Lord Hari, who is ever compassionate to his devotees, spoke to Shanidev as follows. Sri Nrsimha said, O Shani, I am pleased with your devotion. Whatever you desire that will benefit the world, ask for that kind of boon, and I will grant it. Sri Shanidev replied, O Lord Nrsimha, O reservoir of compassion, please be kind to me. O Lord of all gods, let my weekday, Saturday, be your favorite day. O purifier of all the worlds, may you fulfill the desires of all those who listen to or read this great prayer to you, composed by me. Sri Nrsimha said, O Shani, let it be so. By virtue of my being the universal protector, Raksho Bhuvana, I fulfill the desires of all my devotees. Please listen to my words. Let there be no fear of the 12th and 8th birth positions, and implicitly any unfavorable birth positions, and consequent troubles from you for anyone who reads or listens to this prayer to me composed by you. Shanidev replied to Lord Narahari that he would follow the Lord's instructions. Then the joyful saints and sages present there in Brahma's assembly responded with cries of Jai, Jai. Sri Krishna told Dharmaraj, whoever listens to or recites this conversation between Shanidev and Lord Nrsimha in the form of this prayer of devotion will definitely have all desires fulfilled and will always rejoice. Thus ends the prayers offered to the universal protector Sri Nrsimha by the great soul Shani, as stated in the Bhavishyotara Purana.